Welcome to another book review. Today we are talking about C.S. Lewis's book, The Screwtape Letters, written and published in 1942. No, thank you. Welcome to another book review. Today we are talking about The Screwtape Letters, published by C.S. Lewis in 1942. And this book is a satirical work that was actually, come to find out, dedicated to J.r.r. Tolkien, who was at one point in time, I believe, best friends with Tolkien. And unfortunately, their friendship ended with some differences on Christian theology, which is the theme and topic of what this book is all about. What Screwtape Letters is about is, oh my goodness. I'll let you stay up here, but you have to stay right here. You have to stay right here. Kuro is incessant on being part of this video, so we're gonna let him be. Okay, but you have to respect my space. Yes, respect. What this book is about is letters from the perspective of a demon named Screwtape sending letters to his nephew. If you're gonna be that way, you gotta go. Welcome to another book review. Today we are talking about the Screwtape Letters. Oh my goodness, Kuro. No, you can't stay up here. I changed my mind. Welcome to another book review. Today we're talking about the Screwtape Letters, written by C.S. Lewis and published in 1942. And this is a novel about, oh my, no sir. Welcome to another book review. Today we are talking about the Screwtape Letters, written by C.S. Lewis, published in 1942. And this is a book that is from the perspective of a demon who is writing to his nephew named Wormwood about how to tempt and seduce and otherwise create chaos in a Christian believer's life. This is one of my favorite books that I've ever read and has been very informative throughout my life on the subtle ways that demons try and suggest us to make bad choices or get stuck. The devil tries to not always possess people, but just through little suggestions get them to wander off the path. He does this by getting believers to go to lukewarm churches where their ears will be tickled, but they won't encounter any genuine change in their life. And that's what he notes as being the number one thing, or rather, the demon, Screwtape, notes as being the one thing that they can't really do anything against, is a Christian who is genuinely repentant and receiving of grace. There's 31 chapters in this book that are each letters from Screwtape to his nephew Wormwood. And in one of them, he talks about how pleasure was not created by demons, but by God. And so what they have to do is pervert pleasure. So you take something pure, like, for example, love, and you invert it to be sex. And through that, people will go on to search for love in all the wrong places, as the phrase goes. One of the more humorous bits in the book is about how they don't understand agape love, and they assume that God must have some secret motives for what he calls love, and it claims as himself being love, because it's something that they, in their warped understanding, can't comprehend. And so that's why I think this book is so informative and good for not only believers, but for anyone to read, because it exposes the way and the tactics that the enemy uses to try and get believers off track and distracted. He even talks about how, patriotism or pacifism, both of those can be routes that can distract one from Jesus. Because, you can look at that today. People who are completely hermits and say none of that is real that happens outside. Or the other side that thinks we need to go to war with everybody who disagrees with our worldview. World building in this book is very clever because it just utilizes some simple tools of rhetoric by changing what we would classify as the enemy, by the demons referring to God as the enemy and the devil as the father below. And there was one use of the word lowerarchy. We're all used to hierarchy. There's a use of, which I think is just a made up word, but he's describing kind of like the hierarchy of demons, and he uses the word lowerarchy. No real critiques in this other than the fact that because it's 31 chapters of about 4 to 5 pages, I feel like he does retread some of the same ground in different chapters, just given the nature of the work. But overall, I think this is one of the greatest literary works and experiments in satire that's ever been written, up there, I'd say, with Animal Farm by George Orwell, and how it so poignantly exposes demons. They're not these scary beings, and they are actually very easy to overcome by keeping your sights on Jesus and by not being overcome by all the wiles of this world, as is easy and tempting to do. So that's it. That's all I had to say. Short and simple. It's an easy read. I think I read it in 3-4 days. So if you're looking for a light read that you can gain some understanding and even some amusement from, I highly recommend the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis.